Now, when we talk about acting, or we do acting in actors group, is it just being reactive? Is it based on the narratives only? Is it based on the roles we play, the interactions we have, or it is something more than that? You have read something, maybe another book you have read, but you have got something out of it. Maybe something from the character, maybe something from the plot. You are making another movie, you can take inspiration from that. Or maybe you are adapting a novel and then you are making a film out of it, or maybe a short story, or maybe a play. You are making a movie out of it, and you are understanding the characterization. You are understanding the interplay of characters, how they are talking, how they are interacting, how they are, behaving, and the dialogues they are having. And one thing we do, we take everything very seriously. Whenever we are writing, whenever we are talk about Hok Aloron here, we take everything very seriously. Now, what do you mean by that? It is not a dialogue to impress anyone. But what I mean by that is, whatever is written on paper, the material itself, that we take very seriously. Whatever acting we do, whatever dialogue we speak, we take very seriously. Uh, Sometimes we can go to the editing table and we take it seriously because maybe we are actors, but we can contribute to the editing. Sometimes we are guiding or maybe suggesting the cinematographers how to shoot us, what is the best side, and how to give your best performances. And this take was good, maybe we can go for another take. Maybe the cinematographer is adjusting the light and we can make ourselves comfortable to give another take with the advice of the director, obviously. uh, there is a lot of ego involved when you do the work, in terms of management, in terms of bringing the team together. But when we are talking about storytelling, when we are actually telling the story or making the movie happen, bits and pieces, bit by bit, and then the synergy aspects of it. The whole is greater than the parts put together. When we are doing it, we are taking a lot of decisions. We are changing a lot of things maybe during the shoot that is not in the script. We are changing the dialogues maybe because sometimes the take you are giving, that can inspire you to adapt, that can inspire you to change the dialogue, that can inspire you to talk about the dialogue in a different way, or tell the dialogue in a different way, or say the dialogue in a different way. The way you are communicating, that can be improvised on the spot. And sometimes, and any advice can come from anyone, but we should have the knack of talent, because when someone is giving the advice, many people don't know what they're talking about. Many people don't take many things seriously, or many people don't even take cinema seriously. Many people don't even take the roles they play seriously. So we are not talking about that. Sometimes there are some people who want to be a part of love story. They want to be a part of love story because they want to create a perception, they want to build a brand. They are part of a love story, they are making a love story, they are acting in a love story. Maybe they can play with the names, or maybe a combination of names, because they are trying to portray something using the names, or maybe the play of words. Maybe they are giving a particular smile they want to project, because that is the smile they want to maybe seduce some people, or maybe persuade some people. Or maybe particular kinds of acting they have practiced elsewhere, then they are taking it to another culture, or maybe they want to convey that in the name of something else, or maybe in the name of culture, or whatever it is. Or maybe that is their skill set, that is how they act, maybe. So before casting, you took their audition and they acted like that, and that's the reason they got selected. There can be many things. But when we talk about great movies, we are totally involved in the filmmaking process. We are totally involved in the storytelling process and everything. We are so proud before making the movie. Uh, while writing it, while talking about it, while preparing it, while doing the storyboard, maybe meticulous storyboarding we are doing, and during the shoot, principal photography, and during the shoot, and after the shoot, post production and actually editing the movie. We, when we are too involved, continuously we are thinking about innovative ideas. We are thinking about the telling the story in a different way, editing the movie in a different way. Suppose we have made a 3-hour movie in the rough cut. Then in the editing table, we can decide that movie can be cut short and it can be told within 2 hours and 30 minutes, but it can tell the idea or the theme or the subject of the story, what we are talking about, or the subject of the movie in a different way or in a better way, because that is what we wanted to convey in the first place. We talk about log lines, we talk about elevator pitches. You describe your movie with the help of comps. You describe your movie with the help of maybe one line, so that maybe you are referring to other movies. You are using comps, you are using the log line, you are describing the entire movie in one sentence or in one line. Quickly people can connect to it, so when you invest, when you actually produce the movie, it helps a lot. But when you are creatively occupied, when you are creatively more involved in the process as a director, or above the line, when you are doing acting, or actually you are doing above the line works, editing, cinematography, and all these things, you are too involved, creatively involved, professionally involved, whatever you call it. You are too involved and you are giving your best. You want to make it work you are proud of, you are wanting to communicate, you are learning from your past works, and something you learn from the past work, you are or maybe with another director you want to apply that in that particular situation, to tell that particular story, to shoot that particular scene, to shoot that particular sequence, or create a movement, create some experimental effects, whatever you want to do, because you are learning, you are experimenting, the visual language, how to communicate, and you are taking those decisions. When you are creatively involved in the entire process, you are doing all these things, you are making all these things. But I think when your involvement is less, when you are too much taken away by the superficial thing, or those things, or maybe those games, or maybe those creative aspects of filmmaking, or whatever you can call it, the word plays, something you want to project, something you want to do for creating a perception, or maybe you want to create an image, or maybe you want to be part of a particular genre. Maybe you're not making a movie, but you want to be known as an actress who took part in that genre, who wanted to be part of a love story, or wanted to work with this person or that person. When you are doing those things, I think it won't be of much help when you go through these discussions or these things. So in the actors group, or in the with the community of actors, what we are going to do is not those things. Those things can help you come up with some creative things, creative ideas, maybe in terms of naming the movie, in terms of doing something creatively in the filmmaking process. That is not that creative involvement. You are deeply involved in the process, you are guiding the actors, you want to make the movie a great movie, something you are proud of. It's a work. Maybe it can be a small budget movie, it can be a big budget movie, it can be anything in between, but a work you are proud of, and people who are being part of it, they are also proud of that work. When you do a work like that, these discussions will help in that. So now, as gradually we are, as we are going towards the tougher discussions, you will see that straight away we will jump into acting. Till now, we have talked about the basics of cinema, we have talked about the different aspects of cinema, but suddenly you will see that we are jumping into the circumstances of life, the emotions, the colors, the conflicts, and how we can convey, using the facial expression, using the close-up, using the wide angle, using the establishing shot, with your gestures, with your movement, and you in the scene, and you are part of the environment, and the camera may be moving, the camera may be static, but you are part of the story, you are part of the environment, and that shot is communicating something. It is part of those storytelling devices, whatever you call it. It is part of that visual communication, that visual language. It is part of something with which you will either use silence, or you will use some music or some score, or maybe some sound effects, and it will, tell a story in different ways, or amalgamation of different ways, and then your performances, non-verbal, verbal, your acting. So we take it really seriously. The dialogues, the writing, the performances, each and every aspect of it, if you can, And you should, because it is not only someone else's money is at stake, it is also your brand and your reputation sometimes. And also you want to give something. Maybe you have built your brand already, you are coming back after a long time. Maybe this is the thing you haven't done before, you are coming up with a great performance. Maybe you are working with a director you wanted to work with, So the chemistry is different. The story is different, the genre is different, the way of telling the story is different. Maybe your working style can be different, but you are adapting to it. You are finding new ways, you are learning new ways. There was so much inside you as an actor. You could give, but you didn't have the chance to give, because of that script or that situation or that scene or that, that event of filmmaking or that, process of making the movie. You could bring it out, You are feeling because of the material, because of the writing, because of the direction, because of the crew coming together, and they are so involved in the process. You are figuring out how I can give a better performance, how I can come up with something else, how I can be very curious, sometimes like a naive kid, and we can ask questions to the people. We can sit with the script and we can delve deeper into the material, We can write on the script, underline, taking notes, because as an actor, you can have your own copy of the script and you can make your own notes, during the scene, during the dialogue, in between the lines, you are making your notes. Then when you come to the actual shooting or the principal photography or making of the movie, while we are shooting it, then you can contribute because you have done your preparation. Sometimes you can come, with a relaxed mind, with less, turmoil, with less intricacies of life, and you are coming into the shoot and you are just adapting to the situation, to the environment and to the people, around you. Because when you look at a film, it is like a film. We are looking at faces, people are coming, the situation is changing, scenes are changing, continuity is happening, we are telling a story shot by shot, music is coming. It is not like that. When you are totally involved in the process, one person coming from this direction to that direction will have one meaning, one person coming from that direction to this direction will have another meaning. Do you understand why you are following the rules? Do you understand why you are breaking the rules? Do you enjoy the process of acting, or someone is directing you? Do you understand all these things, the cinematic language? It matters a lot, So I think many of us, we have actors inside us, but due to a movie or because of a movie, we can bring up, or bring a lot of things into the shoot. We can do our preparation and we can, when you do your research, actually, you can help the other departments as well. But as an actor, you can do so much, It is not like you are looking good and sitting in front of the camera, but, you are actively participating in that entire process. That's why we used to have great relationships between actors and directors. Even if you consider earlier days of Hollywood or black and white movies, or, later 40s, 50s, 60s, you will see that great relationships between directors and actors. They used to discuss a lot, they used to talk a lot, they used to shape each other, Sometimes stars were born because of the, the process or that discussion, or maybe the, casting process or finding a new star. This story is relevant for this particular person, and that person become a star because of that movie. These things used to happen. Creative experiments. We are stretching our creative muscles. We are taking innovative decisions. But maybe at that time, that management lingo or that business lingo or this kind of things were not there. Maybe we are taking decisions based on instincts. We knew that that person was right for that job, and we went with it, and that film became a masterpiece. It happened, and it happened multiple times because it is supposed to happen, right? Now people can analyze, people can criticize, but that was the fun of filmmaking, the magic of filmmaking. So we will talk about acting like that. We will talk about filmmaking like that. Not those other aspects. Those you can do at your home as as a homework or whatever you want to call it. But here we will talk about filmmaking, making movies happening again, making movies magic again. It is already there. We already have cinema, but when you pass the mantle to the next generation filmmaker or someone who is doing great work now, you think that that person can become a great filmmaker, and you are passing the mantle. It used to be of respect. It used to be of a lot of things, affection, respect. You are liking that person can carry it forward, and that person could have done a better job, and you wouldn't have an issue, because of your ego or whatever it is, because you were happily doing it. But then ego, competition, these things came, but that should not take away the magic of cinema. So it is there, but we can make it better. Always we can make it better, and cinema can evolve. So that is what we talk about in Hok Aloron coming forward. Whenever we are talking about cinema, we are talking about all these things, right? See you soon.